If you say you are crazy pass you, don't worry. That guy is a mentality. Pass the nation. Everybody be careful. Don't worry. Hi, GP. He's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatawale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Don't worry. So me don't get to be war. Don't worry. Any case. Don't worry. Oh, say, yeah. Don't worry.
Just a bit more.
Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, don't worry. Just give us a phone, okay?
No.
Tears roll as some applicants get rejected in their bid to get enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service.
Stop crying.
One of the major disqualification factors is height.
Very sad.
I couldn't meet the target with regards to the height.
Minimum 1 meter 73 centimeters for males and 1 meter 63 centimeters for females.
When you input your data into the system, you enter your own height, what you have. But they will be checking the height physically on the ground to see whether what you put into the system is the correct one.
Chief Superintendent Alfred Fifi Okran, in charge of intelligence, explains.
Because he wanted a system to pick him, he inputted a height which is not original so that the system can qualify him for him to get entrance. So that is why we are here to do the physical checking. So those who have manipulated the system by inputting wrong information, physically when we check, they will take you out. And the moment we disqualify you, the system close your page automatically.
Just only on Facebook, because when you go on our YouTube social media. When you go on Twitter, you can like and follow us at LUVFM995. LUVFM995. Also on Instagram, you can like and follow us at Love99.5 FM. Love99.5 FM. That is our Instagram account. We always have you also joining us via phone, because at the end of the show we always activate the phone lines on 03220 83596, 03220 83597, and 03220 83598. These are the numbers you can call when we activate the phone lines. We also like to hear and also read your WhatsApp messages that you send to us on 055 1111 995, 055 1111 995. So these are ways to get social with us wherever you are, and also get to download the My Joy Online app or even the Adom Online app and get to listen to Love 99.5 FM. Seamless streaming. I mean, it doesn't consume even too much data. You will not even realize you're even listening or watching. You click the listen live. Of course, when you go to your Play Store or your App Store, you download and install these two apps and you get to listen to Love 99.5 FM and all the other multimedia channels that we have. Welcome once more. This is Page 95. If you're on your way home, if you are sitting out there with your friends, if you're having a barbecue, wherever or whatever you were doing, we say thank you so much for joining us tonight on Page 995. And this evening, there are lots of stories that we like to share with you. A lot of things are happening on social media, things which are likable, things that will make you sit on the edge of your seat and you ask yourself, why? What is happening? There are all of these stories that we have for you tonight on Page 995. If you realize, last Monday, we spoke about something regarding the crackdown on indiscipline. It's a word we use advisedly here, by the Ghana Police Service. Yes, the Dampari effect. We played an initial voice of Bukom Banku, Brian Makamoko, praising the new IGP.
Dampario, hey, Dampario, hey. Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. He provoked all the nation. Ghana, Dampari. If you say you are mental, he have a mental person. If you say you are crazy, he crazy person. Dampari. That guy is a mentality past the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari. Where? IGP. He's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tell Shatawale, look at me. He tell Shatta, look at me. Dampari. Say me don't get to be war. Dampari. Any case. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh yeah. Dampari, oh hey. Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. He provoked all the nation. Ghana, Dampari. If you say you are mental, he have a mental person. If you say you are crazy, he crazy person. Dampari. That guy is a mentality past the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari. Where? IGP. He's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tell Shatawale, look at me. He tell Shatta, look at me. Dampari. Say me don't get to be war. Dampari. Any case. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh yeah. Dampari, oh hey. Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. He provoked all the nation. Ghana, Dampari. If you say you are mental, he have a mental person. If you say you are crazy, he crazy person. Dampari. That guy is a mentality past the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari. Where? IGP. He's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatta Wale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Don't worry. Semi don't get the people. Don't worry. Any case. Don't worry. Oh, say yeah.
My clients, together with my great counsels, Chris Oseyeboa, Bobby Banson, Paul Abariga, and Nana Ose, aka Zastava, we put together a team of lawyers, and we were able to secure bail for Shatta Wale today. We're delighted that he will be united today with his family and friends today. So basically that's what happened today.
What were the conditions for the bail?
Shatta Wale was granted self-recognizance bail, and the other associates, the other 3 individuals in the matter, were also granted bail with one surety, a common surety being as a public servant, just one person. That's the condition that was thrown at our client.
So for Medical's charge, he is to actually produce one surety who should be a public servant, and the rapper actually pleaded not guilty to one charge of displaying arms and ammunition on social media when he first appeared in court on Friday. Yes, people, we understand, have started pulling down their videos of guns and weapons and those things on social media. Well, let's see how it goes. And the case also has been adjourned to November 9 for the 2 gentlemen. Yes, it's still about the crackdown on indiscipline wherever, yes, by the police, a renewed effort. What do you make of it? Send us your comments on our Facebook page, LUV99.5 FM. Alternatively, you can also send it to our WhatsApp number, 055-1111-995. Interesting enough, these 2 gentlemen, we understand, are best friends. So Ghanaians, some people are saying when Medical head Shatta was in prison, he wanted to also do something so that they can join and probably even do a show there. We don't know whether the show happened at Ankafo, but I mean, that's with the 2 gentlemen there. Now, to our second issue for this evening, and it's about the raging anti-LGBTQI+ bill. Yes, currently before Parliament. Now, Chairman of Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Committee, who is Kwame Animedu Entry, has actually backed the Speaker's decision in respect of the committee making its deliberations on the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill public. Yes, people are even requesting for that they use a transparent box so that when our MPs are voting, we will know those who are putting in the no's and the yes and all of that. Of course, he has backed that. And Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, on Monday made the anti-LGBTQ bill plus Parliament's top priority when the House resumed from recess. And talking of the Speaker of Parliament, I just want us to also briefly listen to him and his comments or new comments on this particular bill.
I know Ghanaians are expectant petitions, and I know before the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, but we'll try not to allow any filibustering of this bill. Because it's not only Africa, the whole world is looking for the outcome of this bill. And so we will not just allow people to come and try to delay the process. We'll make the process public, and I support what the majority leader said, The sitting of the committee will be public, and the decision of this House will be public. We will want to know where each member of parliament stands.
The minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, agrees with the speaker.
And trust that our Committee on Constitutional Legal will engage appropriately.
Alban Sumana, Kingsford, Bagbin, Honorable. And one other person who couldn't agree more with what he said is also the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu.
Appropriately, the people of Ghana and the petitioners, Mr. Speaker, it is not for nothing that Article 106 provides that bills are gazetted for purpose of elucidating input from the public. And it should not stay per outstanding orders more than 3 months within the committee. We expect the Committee of Constitutional Legal to lead Parliament living up to that litmus test of an anti-LGBTQI legislation and nothing more. One that reflects our values, our morality, and the wishes of the generality of our society.
On the part of the majority leader, Oseche Mr. Bonsu, he
of the bill. I wonder what people are talking about. Because
of course, if you know or if you don't know, we like to let you also know that Mr. Animedu Entry, he actually chairs the committee working on this particular bill, and of course he's also promised to make the process very, very transparent too.
What the speaker is referring to
here in plenary,
when
the TV cameras are here. They have always been here. So for people who raise issues and make it appear as if we consider saying in some quiet place outside the chamber and then nobody sees what goes on. The Speaker, really, an unfortunate picture is painted outside. Unfortunately, some colleagues in this House also added to the confusion and made it appear as if Parliament has been doing things that are untoward.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and click on that bell icon and get notified every time
you're Ghanaian. You have been following this conversation about LGBTQ or the bill which is before Parliament. Yes, Sam George has also been trending. It wasn't just with the CNN guy that he gave it to. He had another interview on BBC where that one to Ghanaians are saying he gave it to the guy left, right, center and all about his stance on this anti-LGBTQ plus bill in the country. I mean, tell us, what do you make of this whole conversation? It's before Parliament. It's been read, and now the process to have it passed or otherwise is still ongoing. As a Ghanaian, do you belong to this minority group? Yes. Tell us, how do you feel about the bill? And if you are from the other side, what do you make of it? Do we even need it as a country and everything? I mean, these are questions that we are asking this evening. Now to our third story that we have for you tonight, and it's about the 6 Milud team. Yes, when you hear 6 Milud, then you know we are talking about Accra Hasufuk. No curve, no bend. Yes, they were supposed to go to Africa and bring glory to Ghana. They went and they filled Poto at the hands of Wadad Athletic Club in Morocco. Says Milud Kofinsian team no. Yes, today now we hear a former Asante Kotoko striker Kwame Poku has sounded a warning or cautioned Accra House of Folk not to underestimate JS Sura. Say mafufra. Don't think you can. You probably is in Ghana that you can be doing your things, but when you exit the country or when you go, don't go and take those teams there for granted. In fact, it's a very friendly advice that he's given the phobians. We can't touch enough on that particular one. And so on the phobia notes, I'm going to give my gentlemen in the studio, and forgive me, I couldn't introduce them earlier, but I have Abraham Alokori here in the studio, and also Fifi Ayite, a.k.a. Daddy Q. And after their first 10 minutes of submissions, we'll be talking about the main issue of what we are seeing currently at the Elwak Stadium, Babayara Stadium, and some other places across the country. And it's about the Ghana Immigration Service recruitment process, which we understand has gotten to the screening stage. But if you have any comments on the first three that we've raised so far, please share with us on LUV 99.5 FM. That's our Facebook fan page, and also drop it on our WhatsApp number 055 1111995. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
Not so bad.
Very well. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Good to be here.
Good to see you too.
Nice one. Anyway, so I'm going to just give you the 10 minutes each. And Abi, I'm going to start from you.
Yeah.
Kotoko advising Hasselfolk. Let me just put it that way. LGBTQ. Yes. The process so far, the bill in Parliament, and also the two gentlemen who have been granted bail, and possibly we can just go a little bit into the kind of work the Ghana Police Service is doing now. The Joanna lady. Why? That other lady too was Josephine.
Yeah.
What is wrong with ladies with JJ in their name? Why? And
it comes across as though the name Josephine can't stay out of kidnapping trouble, even if you pay them to,
This one is Joanna. Exactly. Joanna, she's Joanna.
She's Joanna. Okay,
the one who has...
Joanna, and then the other one is
Josephine Penny.
Penny, rather, and then Joanna Kra.
Yeah, Joanna Kra.
Oh, okay. I thought they were both Josephine, because I think from some of the articles I read, I saw Josephine.
No, this one is Joanna. She's
okay.
Joanna.
I think that kidnapping issues are issues that shouldn't be played around with, because of the magnitude of consequences that is associated with it. It is sometimes leads to the loss of life in some extreme cases where people are kidnapped for particularly ritual purposes. And in the past couple of years, we've experienced that. We haven't forgotten the issue of 2018, where we woke up one morning to the disappearance of 3 girls from Takrady, that same particular area. Priscilla Bintum, Ruth Abaka, and Ruth Love Quason, and Priscilla Crunchy. These young girls between the ages of 18 and 21 vanished. Eventually, we were told that some Nigerian guy called Edotech Wills, was responsible for what do you call it, their disappearance and eventual killing, as it has been alleged. And even with that, the family still don't believe the skeletal remains that were what do you call it, dug out from a septic tank belongs to that of their family. So there's still a cloud of doubt surrounding that particular case. And since then, because of how it became topical on the national level, the police have always paid particular attention to cases of reported kidnappings in that particular area, because the police were actually blamed for not acting urgently, not giving it the urgency that that particular case required. We were told that one of the family people said that initially when they made a report to the police in Takrady, I think the inspector at the time said, "Oh, young girls like that, they'll return. When they are done with their business, they'll return.
They'll come back to the family."
Unfortunately, they didn't return, you know. And in the last 3 months, we've had such cases. The Josephine Kra lady who feigned not just pregnancy as well as kidnapping. I think that people must know that there are laws in this country that we take very much for granted or take as kids play. And this IGP is making us aware. I'm happy that yesterday he met heads of religious
People think he's launching a war against
no, he's not launching anymore. Me, I'm happy.
And religious
honestly, 31st night, I think this coming 31st night will be one of the most peaceful we will enjoy, because we won't wake up to stories of this one is going to. Honestly, I don't get why
prophecies.
I don't get why our pastors are so enthused about people that I don't know what the benefit is of to them, you know. So I think that it's good the IGP has met them. 31st night, he himself will be sitting by his television monitoring the prophecies. And I can assure you, going into 2022, the prophecies will be, this person is going to get wealth.
Ghana is going to prosper.
Yes, Ghana is going to prosper. and not this person is going to die. But whatever it is,
and nobody saw COVID-19 coming.
No, none of them. As a matter of fact, none of them. Even one of them who prophesied death could not see that he will end up behind bars in the course of the year. He couldn't see it that by the close of the year, he himself will find himself behind bars and denied bail. Be remanded by a law court in this country. The point is that fake news is becoming a problem, not just for Ghana, all over the world.
Absolutely.
And countries are tightening laws to ensure that they eliminate the emergence of that particular trend, which, by the way, sometimes can cause a lot of panic for the people associated with that. And when you say you have been kidnapped, I mean, you can imagine the torture, the mental torture it brings on your own immediate family. For Joanna's case, we are told that it was to dupe a man, a respectable man she sees as a godfather. And the panic alone forced the man to report to the police station instead of, asking for a Momo number. It was when she realized that the Momo wasn't going to come. She turned up at the police station herself. So I think that the seriousness of this issue is something that must always ring a bell in our ears and in our minds that it is not something you should play with. And particularly the youth who want to make quick money. Today, apart from Sakawa and scamming, I think kidnapping for ransom is the other business the youth want to venture into. And we are not going to allow them. Thanks to IGP Dampari. Yeah, so I think that for that, we must all learn lessons from, because there's a account saying that says that so who say if you are not careful, next time it will be your beard that catches fire. I think the other one will be the two guys.
Oh, they've actually gone yesterday after their release.
Yeah, they went for
they went
a deep clean bath.
They say spiritual cleansing.
Yes,
at the beach. I thought the beaches were closed.
For fishing.
I think.
No.
The president must hear this.
No.
Yes.
We were told beaches were closed.
Yes.
There were no. There were no weather for fishing, for luxury, for fun or anything. The last time we checked, they said the beaches were closed.
I thought it was official.
The president must hear this. Reminds me of that book we learned in the ghost must
hear this.
This one, the president must hear, because the president was the one who closed the beaches. Now, you know what, Patricia? Let me say this. The day Shatawale appeared in court, I think medical just didn't like the idea of his friend going to Ankaful alone. So he went there. Before Shatta left, they whispered words into their ears. And today I'm going to reveal on this show what medical said.
Shatta was cursing left, right, center.
He said, El Chamano. Don't worry. I'll be joining you tonight. Similar to the what happened on the cross of Calvary, where Christ promised the thief that tonight you'll be with me in paradise. Medical assured Shatawale that tonight I'll be with you in Ankafo. And indeed,
multimedia disassociating ourselves from this one. Yes, we can't verify it, so we are disassociating ourselves from this particular one.
He took his own words serious. He left and returned that evening to the police station, Accra Regional Command. And it was for, brandishing a gun.
Yeah,
we are told on social media. I think that
it's his IG page.
There's a lot of education, on the more serious, there's a lot of education we all need to have concerning things like fake news, gun ownership and the like. You see, when you are given a license for a gun, it is for you to own the gun for your protection. That gun can only be used when there is a threat of harm on your person or any other person closely associated with you, or in the case of a society or community where another person's life is in danger, and without the use of that gun, either to make someone immobile, or in the most extreme cases, take out the life of that person who, if not prevented, might end up ending another person's life. These are the only circumstances you can use the gun. So when your life is not in danger, when you are safe and secure, thanks to IGP Dampare, with, let's say, the police working to eliminate crime or limit the impact of crime, a gun must at any given time be concealed. As a matter of fact, when you are even given a license, there's a manual of instructions one of the instructions is that it must always be, especially in the home environment, it must be kept in a drawer under lock and key.
Especially when you have children.
Yes, and in the case of probably even driving to a place where you think that you could meet some danger, it must be concealed either in that locker on the right hand side of the driver's seat, or in that compartment. You see, it must never be visible. The reason is simple. A gun is actually an assault weapon. What an assault weapon means is that it can either wound someone or kill someone. And guns have a mind of their own. Recently, we were told just about 2 days ago that this guy, Alec Baldwin, on a set, prop gun, just a prop gun, it went off and there was a loss of life to the director of the movie herself.
The director got injured and the
cinematographer of the movie herself. So that is how dangerous a gun can be, and that is why, as part of the guidelines, you must always have a gun concealed and only come out. Look, in the U.S., for instance, I understand there are states like Texas that have changed some of their laws. In Texas, you can actually walk around in the street and be brandishing guns, showing it to people. They can't do anything because the law allows it.
That's the law, yeah.
But there are other states that also frown on that. And in Ghana, our laws do not, beside medical, I think that in the past, they were lucky. I've seen people like Ifya Schwarzenegger and the likes.
You know what we understand she's actually done? She's actually edited the caption, the original caption of that video.
License to kill.
And even Chatawale, about 3 years ago, you recall he made a video of himself unprovoked. He was firing a firearm in his own house, mentioning some Nigerian artist's name that he intended to kill, or take on. So he mentions Davido, then he fire. He mentions Whiskey, then he fires.
He thinks
so these are all things that at that time he should, unfortunately, Dampare was not on the scene. Maybe that would have been his first time, But the point is that we all need some level of education. There are a lot of things we take for granted in our society that if the laws actually should take seriously with us, we all find ourselves in trouble. And that is why I'm happy that the IGP, beyond the arrest and the likes, is also taking on the path of education and sensitization, meeting groups to make them aware that yes, much as you are going about your activities, there is also laws that govern some of what happened with him and the heads of religious bodies. I understand that it is going to continue with other groups for us all to be educated on the law. Absolutely. So that when we fall foul of it, we can have no excuse.
Sure. You can't come and be blaming people for hating religion or hating God and all of that. Anyway, so that's Abraham Alokore, and my next 10 minutes is going to go to Fifi Ayute, a.k.a. Daddy Q. Q?
Yeah, Ama. I think I'll touch on the Shatawale and medical issue. For a very long time, even before Dampare, now we are doing it before and during Dampare's time, like we do it in the Bible, BC and AD. Before Dampare, there were so many issues with some celebrities. Some of them will be doing Facebook Live, threatening people. Some of them will be on Facebook Live, brandishing weapons and all that, like Medical did. And like AB said, I think when people are doing this, they forget that there are laws in this country and there are some things you can do. They should remember that they are not in a movie. For example, we all know movies like James Bond and those things. You see people with guns on billboards and all that.
Yeah, going up and down and all of that.
It's legal because everybody knows it's a movie. But if you are in your household and you are holding a gun, first of all, the person even looking at you from the outside might actually feel provoked or in danger because, as Avi said, guns are supposed to be concealed.
Yeah.
You can't pull. Remember Ghana Music Awards?
Yeah.
When Stone Boy.
Shatta, Apampam Jane Shatta.
But that one, they said it was a toy gun.
It wasn't a toy gun. It was a real gun.
What a pistol?
It was a real gun.
It was a real gun.
It was a real gun. And Stone Boy's story was that he felt threatened by Shatawale and his people. So he only pulled it out to protect himself. But even he was arrested. Yeah. Shatawale was also arrested. Shatawale was in everything. And I remember for about a week they were trending. I think they were warned.
They even got stripped of their titles and their awards.
And even the VGMA said they were not going to have them again in future.
Baba.
They put them on an indefinite suspension.
Yes, and it was a
Abi,
huge thing because you all know VGMA outside Ghana.
Abi,
so a lot of people were worried about
Thank you.
Even because of that thing, then
Prayers.
went for scanty.
So
it's been creeping in. I remember, as I said, I just realized that most of our states
they don't pray finish. Yes, sir.
but we shut
Which game? Which game?
Prophets.
The party.
Some of us so-called.
Make a change.
Jesus actually went to a particular radio station and said that Shatawala was going to be shot on the 18th October.
He said we were going to see a replication of what happened in South Africa. I don't know whether. And he had every right to.
One of the questions I asked is, nowadays, is only God interested in this? Because nobody has gone to
oh, how?
It's always about stone boys, always about Saturday. I don't know whether you realize that trend. That nowadays all our prophecies are centered around celebrities or politicians. And it's a bit fishy. Because even in the Bible, if we see prophets, yes, we know David got some prophecies, but we also know some common people on the streets also got some prophecies. But these prophecies are always centered around politicians, who's going to win elections, Kotoko and Haas, who's going to win the league, which musician is going to be crowned this or, and it's a worry. So me, the common floor member sitting here, they've never seen anything about me. It's always about
wait for 31st night.
God is here to locate you on his GPS.
Even to the time, like I was saying earlier, 2019, when the year was ending, none of our prophets saw COVID-19 and the effects that it was going to have on the whole world, not just Ghana. None of them saw it. I think later I heard Reverend Tosu Bempa say that he saw it, but he didn't remember the name. But he knew something was. I don't know whether I remember that thing.
You want to you want to drag COVID
prophecies. Me, that thing I've taken it very personally.
We're here and someone told us there was going to be a huge rain and was going to wash the whole of
that man who later moved to the north because he said the only place that will be safe after the flood will be the north. And he went there to wait. Nothing that day. The way the sun was hot that day, not a simple drop of rain. And a friend of mine was saying, these people, are they sure they are prophecies or they are smoking something? They should let us know. And I'm very happy that the IGP is tackling these things because nowadays, any prophet who wants to be popular or who wants to collect his name, let me use local English, so Ginny Ding, will go to any radio station and mention a very popular figure and will prophesy. So that he will be trending and then he'll be getting more views and likes on social media.
I really think that is what they set out to do, like be popular, let people hear their names and all.
So why don't they prophesy about you, Patricia? But always Shatawale or Nanado or Mahama.
It's God who speaks directly to me. Yeah, it's fine.
So that's the trend because I get suspicious when it's only centered around politicians and rappers. It's like nowadays that's where God's focus is. That's what they're telling us.
In the case of Bonsu Bempa, he's a very popular man of God, but he never got his own prophecy about that
he's going to jail.
He's going to go on remand.
Okay, so like I was saying, I'm very happy that the IGP is tackling these things.
Okay.
At least nowadays, if they go and stand in front of their congregation, they will think a little bit before they open their mouths and start mentioning. And in Ghana, it's always doom prophecies. We never hear that our debt is going to go down. The economy is going to do well. There's going to be employment. Always, somebody is going to die. This person is going to lose their job. A car is going to knock somebody. Why? This country is already hard. And we are adding all these things to us already.
You want to know why? The God who oversees Ghana is a God of death.
Always bad news. Why? Anyway, I'm happy that he's actually venturing there and is warning some of these prophets. I heard a prophet saying that it's an attack on God. How in the first place do we even know that even what you are bringing cries from God? You claim to be a PR of God. That one cries under investigation. We don't know. We are not sure. whether that's where your prophecies are coming from.
But you know what I think that the one that missed Dampare that pains me was the one who prophesied within 12 hours, not even 24 hours. 12 hours. The first one, he said, Argentina, England, Argentina are not going to win the Copa. Then within 12 hours, he said, England are going to win the. If that one, as you say, it
I
paid me,
remember.
It should have happened around the Paris time.
People were disappointed. A friend of mine went to do bet just because of that prophecy. And I bet
it's okay.
And he was very depressed.
We'll not mention the person's name. That's
anyway,
fine.
The person knows himself. I remember he was trending all over. Anyway, another
This is Love FM 99.5. Yes.
Another thing I would like to touch on, Patricia, you know this topic, it's
dicey.
It's dicey. I normally try to avoid it, but I'll talk about it.
No, but it's something that is happening.
It's the LGBTQ RST, all those plus bills that's coming up. And Patricia, the reason why sometimes I marvel is in this country. This is my opinion. No? It's not the opinion of Love FM. It's not the opinion of Page 995. It's Fifi's opinion. I think we have bigger issues in this country. For example, graduate unemployment. We have issues of rampant floods. We have issues of, if I can even add, false prophecies. And look, I understand why people get riled up if it comes to LGBTQ. Because people will say, yes, it's not our culture. It's not something known in the society. And I agree. I always tell you, if you ask me why people do it, I don't understand it. But I also am not convinced that somebody should go to jail just because they are gay. It's my own opinion. Look, I'll tell you why the last time I was here, I was a bit, should I say, I was actually a bit disappointed with the clergy, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, when they
went on the walk.
When they went on the march, yeah.
I always tell people I am what you call a New Testament Christian. I agree that it's foreign to our land, but I don't think even in Europe that's legal, or even America that's legal. It's not even part of their culture. At the end of the day, they realize that every human being is valuable to a particular country, because this is the thing. In a country, yes, some people are religious. People are coming from the religious angle. They don't like it, which is acceptable. If you're a Christian or a Muslim, definitely it's not your thing. But there's also somebody who doesn't believe in any of these ideals. And since they'll tell you we live with civil laws. And we are not a religious country. For example, Iran is a religious government and religion. Government and the and Islam are joined together, so they make their laws. They have Sharia and all that. You go to Saudi, you get all those things. But Ghana is a secular country, which means we don't use our religious laws to govern ourselves. We use civil laws. So there are so many arguments, and sometimes the reason why I don't like talking about this, whenever you say something, people say, yes, you cry, you are one of them. You cry. Oh, people and that's why. But this is my thing. I believe that there are bigger issues in this country. And I'm not saying anybody should go and promote gay marriage or anything. But in my personal opinion, I don't believe taking a gay person to prison will solve anything, because we know what happens in these prisons. Especially in male prisons, in female prisons. When they are there for a long time and they don't have any interaction with the opposite sex. A friend of mine has been there before.
Has been in prison?
Yes, somebody I know has been there before. Oh, yes.
Okay.
And he has narrated some of these gory stories to what happens in prison. And some of these people are not even gay people. They've been there for a very long time, and then it's become part and parcel of them. So this is the thing. Yes, it's true that through having sexual relations, even with men and women and men, you can transmit HIV
Certain
and
infections.
other sexual transmitted
Infections.
diseases. The same way in prison, and you've seen our prisons. Our prisons are choked. There are too many people there. There are many countries in Scandinavia, like, for example, Denmark, Sweden, and those people. What they are trying to do is they are trying to empty their prisons by a certain year. I watched a documentary on BBC, and there was this man who went to prison for murder. What they are doing is they've taken him to this isolated place. There's a house, and he has guards there. But they realized that the guy was very good in business. So the guy came up with his own ideas. I think he's a software, whatever.
Engineer.
Yes. And he learned it in prison. And what they are doing is, they took him out of the main prison, and they put him in some isolated place. He can do businesses with other people, but he has that ankle bracelet. So wherever he goes, they know. And what they are trying to do is, they are trying in a way that they'll, should I say, go away from that traditional, you are taking you to prison.
Like they
And
want to
prisons-
reform the
yes,
people
reform
there.
the people.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm even going far. The point I'm trying to make is, I understand people coming from the religious parts saying that, even in the Bible, it's a sin. But guess what? The Anglican Church,
That's what I was coming to come to.
the Archbishop of Canterbury, and I'll give you some small history about how
He says he's gravely concerned.
Yes, and I'll give you a history of even how the Anglican Church came up. I stand corrected, but I think it's one of the English kings. I think it's Henry VIII. One of the Henrys, or one of those Charles, those people. I think Henrys. He was a known womanizer. Everybody knew it. But before his time, all the people of the British royal family were Catholics. And Catholics are very strict about divorce. So Henry VIII wanted to divorce his first wife, because Henry, what he was doing was, he would go in and get the most beautiful woman in that area. For about a year or two, you get bored, he would dump you, and then he'll go for another beautiful. That's what he was doing. And because he was Catholic at that time, the Catholic Church didn't want to allow him to get divorced. So he got mad and told them that even the Catholic people, when you even came to England, you didn't do anything productive there for the country. So I'm no longer a Catholic. I'm coming up with my own church. And that's the Anglican Church. At that time, it was the Church of England. It's still the Church of England. And when you do that, the king is supposed to be the leader of the church. I think presently it's Prince Charles, who is the Church of the King of England. But if you know what Prince Charles has done in the past, I'm sure it's general knowledge. But anyway, this is the point I'm trying to make. I think today I was talking to a friend of mine, and he told us that he was a bit worried. He said the same people who came and told us that the Sodom and Gomorrah issue happened, and because of that, this and this and this and this was a sin, are the same people who are now coming back to us to tell us to accept it. And he was actually hoping that some of the very religious Ghanaians, who mostly, when understanding some of these things, always go on the religious route, will start thinking outside of the box and realizing what's really going on. Is it that this thing is serving some people's interest? That's why all of a sudden they are changing their minds. Even though I'm bashing the Anglican Church here, weirdly enough, I also agree with what the man said, because I am somebody who believes in compassion and who believes in loving your neighbor as thyself. Even if your neighbor is straight or gay. And I leave the judgment to God and not to myself.
Let me actually quote the exact words of Justin Welby. Yes, the Archbishop of Canterbury. Right. He says, quote, "We are a global family of churches, but the mission of the church is the same in every culture and country, to demonstrate through its actions and words God's offer of unconditional love to every human being through Jesus Christ," unquote. Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury. Yeah, that's in the opening statement, which he actually tweeted. So it's quite viral.
And that's one thing. And another thing I'm also worried about is how the international media and how other international governments have started taking notice. Now, there's something we call cancel culture. I'm sure, AB, you know about cancel culture. There are some people you don't try to cross. One of them is the LGBTQ community. I don't know whether I remember this stand-up comedian, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, Chappelle. He did a special some weeks back, and he was very hard on the trans, what's their name?
Trans community.
The trans community. And the trans people are not happy. To the fact, to even the Netflix, is one of these filmmakers. The workers there who are trans they were very angry. I think they went on strike, even walked out of the company and said, if they don't cancel Dave Chappelle, they won't work there anymore. There are so many issues. And I think
they feel hatred, yeah.
Yes, and I think even Chappelle about 2 days ago said he was willing to meet these people, the trans community, in order to solve some of these issues. But the point I'm trying to make is we have to be careful and tread cautiously. I hear nowadays some MPs go to, should I say, they try to go for visas and they are rejected.
So the minority mentioned they were going to do the audit because Sweeney said he was denied. Well, he didn't state it was because
of the
bill. And one MP's son, we understand, was also denied. But you see, one thing is, even if you are giving the visa, you can get your ticket, get to the place, but then entering the country is still...
That's the thing. So
their own decision. Look, it's at their discretion.
Whenever these LGBTQ issues come up, when have you heard somebody going to China, Russia, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia to go and tell them to legalize these things? Exactly. Nobody does. Do you know why? Because ask yourself, Ghana, we are always going to these people to beg for money. Yet, we also go and tell them that we don't like this thing. Look, I know Sam George is going around, trying, he's passionate about this thing.
Yeah, very, very passionate about it.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, if we can generate our own money here, if we can, I was even happy when I heard Sweeney, he has been rejected. What I said was he should stay here and develop this place.
They told him when he goes, he won't return. Anyway,
but so I don't know. With this, I'm watching the space to see what happened with this LGBTQ bill.
Okay.
I'm watching the space.
So it's 8 p.m. in the studio. If you just joined us, this is Love 99.5 FM, and the show is Page 995, where we get to discuss with you the things that have trended or that are trending on social media that you and your friends and your family members are conversing about. That's exactly what we also do here. So, like I said, it can be from any particular quarters. We'll talk about it. Let's take these short messages. When we are back, we'll be going to visit the Ghana Immigration Service.
1xBet makes
Rich game. Baba. Abi, thank you. Rich game. Abi. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. They don't pray finish? Yes, sir. Which game? The day here. Which game? The party. Make a change. Kefari musu wanabu. We fought for Ghana. Dapari, oh say, yeah. Dapari, oh say, yeah. Dapari, oh, yeah. Dapari, oh, hey. Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. Where? He provocates all the nation. Where Ghana? Dampari, if you say you are mental, he have a mental person. If you say you are crazy, he crazy person. Dampari, that guy is a mentality past the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari. Where? IGP, he's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatawale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Dampari, semi don't get to be war. Dampari, any case. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh yeah. Dampari, oh hey. Where? Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. Where? He provocates all the nation. Where Ghana? Dampari, if you say you are mental, he have a mental person. If you say you are crazy, he crazy person. Dampari, that guy is a mentality past the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari. Where? IGP, he's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatawale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Dampari, semi don't get to be war. Dampari, any case. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh say yeah. Dampari, oh yeah. Dampari, oh hey. Where? Regional commander for IGP, Dampari is my friend, but this time they fear him. Where? He provocates all the nation.
So there's no way you can find a way to come.
Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, don't worry. Just give us a phone, okay?
No.
Tears roll as some applicants get rejected in their bid to get enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service.
Stop crying.
One of the major disqualification factors is height.
Very sad.
I couldn't meet the target with regards to the height.
Minimum 1 meter 73 centimeters for males and 1 meter 63 centimeters for females.
When you input your data into the system, you enter your own height, what you have. But they will be checking the height physically on the ground to see whether what you put into the system is the correct one.
Chief Superintendent Alfred Fifi Okran, in charge of intelligence, explains.
Because he wanted a system to pick him, he inputted a height which is not original so that the system can qualify him for him to get entrance. So that is why we are here to do the physical checking. So those who have manipulated the system by inputting wrong information, physically when we check, they will take you out. And the moment we disqualify you, the system close your page automatically. So there's no way you can find a way to come back onto the entrance so that you can still go through the system.
Disqualification also stretches into the realm of other factors like tattoos and body piercings.
The search for your body, tattoo, all those piercing, ear piercing. So if you have one, you are not qualified for that.
I was kind of nervous, but I went through, so it was.
You have a great body. Were they mesmerized by that?
Well, they were actually really tough on us, but we actually went through.
There should be no piercing for males. Yes, that one will automatically disqualify you because it's part of the standard that was set. For females, there should be one piercing. If it's more than one, will be disqualified. With tattoo, visibly will disqualify you, both male and female, because part of the study. Uniform has our own language, and there are basic standards that we set. No tattoos, no double piercing or excessive, no excessive stretch marks, then scars, surgical scars.
Today, the process is moving faster and the numbers are going down. For some, it's the end of the road, but for others, it's a progression to the next stage
If you see people coming through this lane, it means they've been disqualified by height. If you see them coming through this lane, it means they've been disqualified by body selection and they have what they are looking for. Those who are coming through here on the larger part have sailed through. It is yet to be seen how many will be disqualified and how many will be writing the aptitude test on Saturday. But definitely somebody will be picked. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and click on that bell icon and get notified every time we share something new. You know we always share something new.
Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, don't worry. Just give us a phone, okay?
No.
Tears roll here in the Ashanti region. And he might have just been lucky because if you progress, that means on Saturday you'll be writing an aptitude test by the GIS. But unfortunately, some people were not picked or they did not advance to the next stage of the recruitment process because some of them had tattoos. Others had piercing. A lady, if you have two, you will not qualify. And for the gentlemen, if you had a piercing somewhere, it disqualifies you. Now, to one point that if I personally was involved, I wouldn't even worry myself going to pay 100 cedis. Height issues. People were kicked out of the screening process because of their height. And the recommended height, according to the Ghana Immigration Service, is for men, you should be 5 feet 7 inches. Or when we do the turnaround, that's 1 meter 73 centimeters. That's the height that they recommend. And for a woman, the Immigration Service is looking for 5 feet 4 inches, which is also 1 meter 63 centimeters. So, like I said, I mean, the process has started. The service on August 23rd, 2021 opened applications for a lot of Ghanaian youth to apply to the Ghana Immigration Service. Alfred Fifi Okran is not the Fifi in the studio here. He is a chief superintendent and he's in charge of intelligence at the Ghana Immigration Service. He spoke to Joy News.
Please, I'm begging you.
Don't worry, just give us a phone, okay?
No.
Tears roll as some applicants get rejected in their bid to get enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service.
Stop crying.
One of the major disqualification factors is height.
Very sad. I couldn't meet the target with regards to the height.
Minimum 1 meter 73 centimeters for males and 1 meter 63 centimeters for females.
When you input your data into the system, you enter your own height, what you have. But they will be checking the height physically on the ground to see whether what you put into the system is the correct one.
Chief Superintendent Alfred Fifi Okran, in charge of intelligence, explains.
Because he wanted a system to pick him, he inputted a height which is not original so that the system can qualify him for him to get entrance. So that is why we are here to do the physical checking. So those who have manipulated the system by inputting wrong information, physically when we check, they will take you out. And the moment we disqualify you, the system close your page automatically. So there's no way you can find a way to come back onto the entrance so that you can still go through the system.
Disqualification also stretches into the realm of other factors like tattoos and body piercings.
The search for your body, tattoo, all those piercing, ear piercing. So if you have one, you are not qualified for that.
I was kind of nervous, but I went through, so it was.
You have a great body. Were they mesmerized by that?
Well, they were actually really tough on us, but we actually went through.
There should be no piercing for males. Yes, that one will automatically disqualify you because it's part of the standard that was set. For females, there should be 1 piercing. If it's more than 1, will be disqualified. With tattoo, visibly will disqualify you, both male and female. because part of this. Uniform has our own language, and there are basic standards that we set. No tattoos, no double piercing or excessive, no excessive stretch marks, then scars, surgical scars.
Tattoos and piercing for men and height. Height in it. I have a personal. But let's look at the whole recruitment. I know you've seen the videos of the number of people.
It's a bit distressing.
Unemployment.
Exactly, and that's where I was even going to start from. I'll start from the poverty side, and this is the reason why I'm saying poverty. Usually, if you go to the UK or the US, most of the times they beg people to join the army, the police, and other security forces. Why? Because there are so many other options. They live in a country with so many opportunities that being pleased, because in America, if somebody wants to join the army, it means that person is in love with the army and he wants to join. And nowadays, people get out of the universities and there are so many other opportunities for them to have. So military and other things, it's not something they are looking at. But anyway, the reason why you look at some of the videos and it's distressing, people are running and you can see these people are maybe between the ages of maybe 20 and 30. And why? It's because of unemployment. There are no jobs in the system. So if you get yourself into whether the army, police, or at this point immigration, at least you know you get a good pension and some benefits and you'll be okay. But let me come into the requirement. Before we came into the studio, I was telling you about one of my friends when I was in UP. He's called Joe. Joe is not a very tall person. Joe, I think you might...
Is he 5 feet 7 inches?
I haven't measured, but I won't be surprised if you're even taller than Joe.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
And when we were in UP, he was very passionate about the army.
Okay.
He was always talking about the army. But we used to laugh at him and say, you, because of your height, if you go, they will disqualify you. But luckily for Joe, when Joe finished secondary school, he was able to go to America, and that's where he went to the university.
Okay.
After the university, he went into the army, and he didn't just go into the army, he joined the Marines. And now I think he's a captain or major, one of them, in the U.S. Marines. But I was thinking, if Joe was in this country and he joined the Ghana army, I'm not sure they would actually recruit him because of his height.
He wouldn't make it.
Yes. And nowadays, things have changed. People are not looking at strength again. Nowadays, with armies, it's not about how tall you are or how fit you are.
Okay.
Now, there are, should I say, there are new ways of fighting or new ways of protecting
warfare,
or new ways of protecting your borders. For example, nowadays in America, somebody can sit in a room. They have some specialized rooms in Las Vegas and some other states that they can send drones to Afghanistan or to Iraq and bomb a building and come back without sending any personnel there. So nowadays, it's more about what's in your mind.
Your intellect.
Your intellect than
the physical,
your stature
presentation
or physical. So, you know, and this is the interesting thing. Some of these rules that we have, we copied it from our colonialists. Let me put it that way. But I think it's about time that we start evolving and start looking at intellect rather than looking at height. For example, I almost joined the U.S. Navy. This is in 2004. But I was discouraged by my mom and my sister. Because I went on holidays and I was living with my sister. And if I came back, I was now coming to final year at Tech.
Okay.
And my mom and my sister were like, you know, now there's the Iraq and Afghanistan war.
Okay.
If you join, they'll take you there.
Obviously after the 9/11 incident,
yes.
yeah.
And also at that same time, my brother had just joined the British Army, but he's a doctor, so he was serving with the medical part. So my mother was like, why are all my sons going to the army?
There's
so
everybody who even goes to war. You
so
know?
there was a lot of issues, and because of that, I had to withdraw and come back. Sometimes I even think, if I joined right now, things would have been different.
Today,
anyway,
the process.
The reason why I'm saying this is, in terms of the recruitment, they were more interested where I was academically, more interested about how you think rather than the height that you have. So I think it's about time that we change some of these things, because somebody being shot doesn't mean you can't do the work. In my personal opinion,
I feel scandalized. Anyway, Maybe 5 minutes for you.
For men is 5'7", right?
5'7".
Oh yeah, maybe you have any
By
issue.
the way, Fifi says what?
But do you have a piercing?
People are sitting in America.
Do you have a piercing?
No, I don't have a piercing.
Oh, it's closed up.
No. Those pictures you saw back then, they were magnetic earrings.
Yeah.
My mom will kill me. Hey, come here,
Yeah. Okay.
Even with those pictures, when she saw it, the way she yelled, she almost broke my eardrum. Anyway, Fifi says people are sitting in America sending drones. Please, one step at a time. We have started with delivering medical supplies with drones. We haven't gotten to where we send drones to go and kill people and wage wars. Let's stick to where we are. We are doing blood delivery, right? That's what we are doing now with drones. Yeah.
And medical supplies and everything.
When we get to when we have to send drones to Togo and the likes to kill people, we will revise the
even sometimes to
monitor
your enemies.
Exactly. On a more serious note, I think that the whole exercise about security services recruitment is very exploitative. And you see, in the quest to find employment, the youth must be given hope. Hope that comforts them that indeed there's a future beyond what they see.
Okay.
Now, we were told in June that the finance minister ministry had given clearance for just a little over 11,000 jobs in the national security and other, government security agencies.
Yes.
The police were the institution with the highest number of 5,000. Prisons, immigration, 2,000.
2,000, yeah.
Then you go out and sell forms in excess of sometimes 20,000, 30,000. And you are looking for just 2,000 people. How are you even going to get the best out of such a huge number?
It's business.
And that is what we see on our screens. A lot of people, a majority of whom, about 97% of whom will be disqualified. And that is why you see they have these look, one of the most insane requirements for me. Look, I understand that every job has its own requirements.
Sure.
And it must be followed through. So I agree when they say things like, no double piercing for women. But how do you control stretch marks? Or it's called cellulite. Something of nature. Why? Do they strip the people to see every part? I don't get it.
I understand that you go through the process of.
And I'm saying that why should that?
Because how would they even see for how would they even check for tattoos?
Some of the other requirements are things that the person does to themselves. If you make a tattoo, it's a conscious thing you do. If you pierce your ear twice, it is something you consciously do. Stretch marks, I don't know. Maybe the scientists can help me. Who has ever done a work of stretch marks on themselves? Say, oh, okay, I want to have stretch marks. So they go and then they inflict stretch marks. Where? And that is one of the reasons I say this exercise is very much exploitative. They know that they've sold so many forms. Yes, they've made the money. They can't get all the people in, so they have to use exactly requirements that don't make sense. How?
Oh, but these requirements have been there for a very long time.
They are colonial. They should change it.
You're not getting me. The other requirements I agree to. Stretch marks is my concern.
Oh.
Why should
the height, I don't agree.
Something that is an act of nature. It's just like saying that, I have become probably someone who is a sickle cell. That is an act of nature. No one inflicts that on them. So my point is that you see, the security services must stop exploiting the youth of this country. And I think that in a way, you see, the finance ministry as well as the minister for labor and employment relations must also step in, because they can't sit and look on concern for our security agencies to exploit people. You have been given a clearance of just 22,000. Then you decide that you are going, at least, even at most, sell 5,000 forms. So that you can get
it's reasonable.
Because you see, if you are selling 5,000, some of the people who have these double piercings and the likes will disqualify themselves. They won't even come and buy the forms. But you go and sell 20,000, 30,000 forms.
Maybe you should advocate for what do you call it, a refund.
It's business.
I think I'm going to let my listeners in now. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, 03220-835.
Don't worry. If you say you are mental, you have a mental person. If you say you are crazy person. Don't worry. That guy is a mentality past the nation. You want everybody be careful. Don't worry. Where? IGP, he's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tell Shatawale, look at me. He tell Shatta, look at me. Don't parry. Semi don't get the be war. Don't parry. Any case. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh yeah. Don't parry. Oh hey. Regional commander for IDB, Dampari is my friend, but this time I fear him. He provocates all the nation. Donna, Dampari, if you say you are mental, he have a mental pass you. If you say you are crazy, he crazy pass you. Dampari, that guy is a mentality pass the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari, IDB, he's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatawale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Don't parry. Semi don't get the be war. Don't parry. Any case. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh yeah. Don't parry. Oh hey. Regional commander for IDB, Dampari is my friend, but this time I fear him. He provocates all the nation. Donna, Dampari, if you say you are mental, he have a mental pass you. If you say you are crazy, he crazy pass you. Dampari, that guy is a mentality pass the nation. He want everybody be careful. Dampari, IDB, he's crazy rough. Don't touch him. He tells Shatawale, look at me. He tells Shatta, look at me. Don't parry. Semi don't get the be war. Don't parry. Any case. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh say yeah. Don't parry. Oh yeah. Don't parry. Oh hey. Regional commander for IDB. Rich game. Baba. Abi, thank you. Rich game. Abi. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. They don't pray finish? Yes, sir. Which game? The day here. Which game? The party. Make a check. Cafe the Musu Wanabu. You know, we fought for Ghana. Yes, the matter tire me. Who is last and oh, how? The one that's back. Oh, fine, they come. Come. Go dig the gold finish. Good gun.
We thank Allah for everything. We thank Allah for bringing me out. Yo, shouts to everybody that supported me. And I want to say, God is alive, my baby.
Shawale. Shawale.
Boss is my nigga.
Rich game. Baba. Abi, thank you. Rich game. Abi? Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. They don't pray finish? Yes, sir. Rich game. The day here. Rich game. The party. Make a che. Cafe Musu one album.
You know, we fought for Ghana.
Yes, sir.
Nah, the matter tire me. Who is last sanitizer? Oh, how?
By the Speaker of Parliament. I would wish they expedite actions and pass the bill, because we have witnessed a lot of things that they extend the time they spend at the Parliament. They extend them making sure things are done in an expeditious manner. Ghanaians can't wait. We are anticipating to see that the bill is passed immediately, because whoever drag the feet or the processes, whoever slows it down, the name should be known. Like, they should make the person's name known to the public so that we can actually bastardize him or her. We should criminalize this action. We shouldn't entertain it today or in the near years to come. We can't tolerate such barbaric acts in this country. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for being my last caller. Let me give my gentlemen in the studio a minute each to wrap up. AB, a minute for you to wrap up.
Yeah, I think that times are hard, especially for the youth, the teeming youth who don't have jobs. Unfortunately, our finance minister says the payroll is choke. Yeah, it's choking. So we can only hope for better times. But unfortunately, I believe that the finance minister was the wrong person to have spoken on that particular subject. But yes, still, I think that the youth must heed his advice, look to other alternatives like entrepreneurship.
Just as he said. Anyway, Fifi, let's round up here a minute.
Yeah, I think we spoke about a lot of things. But I'll end with the immigration recruitment. A lot of people are speaking about the forms, the number of forms being sold, and it looks like they're exploiting the youth because they know unemployment is high and people are desperate. Because this is the thing, if you are looking for a particular number, maybe you can just sell it just above that number. But looking at the people you are going to recruit, that's around 2,000. And we are selling around 30,000, 40,000 forms.
Well, I think they still need to look through the fact that you want 5,000 people does not mean you should sell 5,500. How do you know the 5,000 that you're going to sell is actually the number that will qualify? So it's okay. I will probably think there should be a refund if you don't pass. They should give you your money.
I think the forms should not even be for sale.
Okay,
that's what I think. I think it should be something you can download on the internet. And if maybe you advance and you go in there, maybe there's something that maybe you have to pay to get something. Because, I don't know, you are going to serve your country in the long run. Why do they need an unemployed person's money. Anyway, that's what I think.
Thank you so much for all the messages. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for downloading the Major Online and Adom Online app to listen to Love 99.5 FM. And also thank you so much for listening to us on radio. My name is Patricia Bonsu. I bring to you Page 995 every Monday and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Let's continue to be good citizens. Have a good night and adios for now.